Hello everyone and welcome to another live protocol video. So today we'll be analyzing the cold INTJ stereotype. So are INTJs really as cold as people perceive them to be, or is the stereotype unfounded? If you are in a relationship with an INTJ, you're enamored with one, or have someone in your family who is an INTJ whom you feel you can't understand, then I'm certain this video will provide not only crucial but useful insights. So let's jump right in. Is it true that INTJs are really that cold? And the answer to that question is yes, but. So INTJs can definitely be one of the coldest types, but there's much more to this type than meets the eye. And to fully understand all their complexity, we need to understand what lies beneath, what lies in their subconscious. So the INTJ personality types, so I give you a better idea, they're often dubbed as the mastermind or the strategist, and they are frequently perceived as cold, detached, and even unfeeling. And while the INTJs may appear to be this emotionally distant, their behavior is deeply rooted in their cognitive functions, particularly introverted intuition and extroverted thinking, NI and TE. These functions are the culprits of how they perceive the world. They are what shapes their worldview and their decision-making process and their interpersonal interactions. So at the core of the INTJ psyche is their dominant function, like we stated before, introverted intuition. So this function allows them to perceive patterns, anticipate future outcomes, and develop long-term strategies. However, NI is also what makes INTJs skeptical and suspicious of people. This ability, while valuable, it can lead to a hyper-awareness of deception and potential betrayal. So it's important to mention that I believe that these operating systems are not tied, and they are not necessarily tied to our personal experiences. My theory of traumas state that we are born with these so-called operating systems. So INTJs are born with an intuitive sense of potential risks, so they often feel the weight of unseen threats, making them naturally wary of others. So their reluctance to trust is not a sign of cold-heartedness, but more something akin to a defense mechanism. As their secondary function, they have TE, or extroverted thinking, a function that is often associated with structure, efficiency, and logical decision making. However, TE is much more than that. So my theory of traumas state that the TE is something like the trauma of abandonment. So it causes their users to feel an overwhelming need to prove their worth and indispensability. For INTJs, this manifests in the pursuit of competence and mastery. So they channel their energy into becoming highly skilled, efficient, and strategic, making them want to excel or dominate any topic they develop an interest in. This emphasis on mastery can sometimes make them appear emotionally detached, as they prioritize their own pursuits more than relationships. However, their drive is not a rejection of emotions, but a deep-seated need to not feel them. So abandonment is a really tough thing to deal with, and allowing feelings to slowly strip their defenses is not something they allow easily. And despite their reserved nature, INTJs experience emotions maybe even more intensely than other types. A soft and vulnerable core they protect at all costs. So the deeper the trauma, the stronger the protection. Their preference for solitude and deep thinking doesn't just happen for no reason, right? So human beings need a motivator to function. If there is no suffering or pain, there is no desire to improve our situation. So INTJs are extremely selective about who they allow into their inner world. So the engine that drives their actions has side effects. So distrust and abandonment make them a formidable machine, but only because of the pain it also causes them. And this can be said about any type really, although different functions have different effects. So we all have our abilities and our proclivities and our preferences that are a direct cause or a direct result of our afflictions, of our deep-rooted traumas. In the case of INTJs, these afflictions might make them seem a bit colder and more distant than others. So how do we make INTJs less cold? And the answer is simple yet difficult. Earn their trust. INTJs are not cold by choice, they are cold by necessity. So if you want to break through their icy exterior, you must prove that you are reliable, genuine, and consistent. It may take a long time, so consistency is the key. And even then, they might still harbor a sliver of distrust. So superficiality and emotional manipulation will only reinforce their defenses. INTJs open up to those who respect their independence, value their intellect, and demonstrate unwavering loyalty. They need relationships built on mutual understanding and depth, not on emotional exchanges. So once an INTJ sees you as trustworthy, their walls will lower and you will witness the depth of their warmth, loyalty, and care. INTJs can be one of the most dedicated and loving people, since it's extremely hard for them to find someone they can let their guard down. When they do, they will cherish that person. In that sense, we can say more accurately that INTJs are not as cold as people paint them to be. They are simply more guarded. Their aloofness is a form of self-preservation. For an INTJ, trust is indispensable. So once someone has earned their trust, they become a valued part of the INTJ's world. However, if betrayed, the INTJ will most certainly not forgive. So if you have an INTJ in your life, make sure to never betray that person, or you will lose them forever, basically. So I'm not saying that 100% certain that an INTJ will never forgive, but will be really hard, that's for sure. So their NI, or the trauma of betrayal, won't allow it. It's too deep, it cuts too deep. So this is why they often keep their circles small and choose their friends carefully. In conclusion, to sum everything up, the perception of INTJs as cold and unfeeling is an oversimplification. So we need to understand that the ever-presence of NI betrayal causes their cautious approach, and the inherent sense of abandonment, TE, amplifies it. So in truth, INTJs can be some of the most loyal and dedicated individuals, but only when they find people that have proved beyond the shadow of a doubt that they will always have their back. That is why understanding the cognitive mechanisms behind people's behaviors is so important, and that is really what fascinated me so much when I first learned about MBTI. But anyway, like I always say, understanding breeds acceptance. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.
If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. That will allow us to keep making more videos like this. For more related content, please click on one of the suggested videos. Thank you for watching.